Here I'm in the village of Clarkston, which is north of Detroit, north of Pontiac, and I've come out here to go to Independence Oaks and cross country ski. Independence Oaks is supposed to be some of the best skiing around. It's supposed to be hilly. I just had breakfast at a brunch spot, something on Main, at a brunch on Main. Shit, hell if I know. The server Jeanette told me that Independence Oaks is really cool. It has a nature center and multiple trails. In the nature center, apparently you can go down under the lake. It's like an aquarium and you can look at the lake from below. Yeah, it's woodsy out here, which I like. And Independence Oaks, the trails are supposed to be really hilly and some of the most challenging here in southeast Michigan. So looking forward to it. Hey, good afternoon.
Woo! There's a turn at the bottom.
Okay. I'm sweet. Well, that was a sweet downhill. I'm glad I took this Spring Lake loop or whatever. And yeah, I can't wait to see the shot. And it's cool. I'm sort of like working my way along this ridge line. The trail's super wide. It's different than the other cross-country tracks. I mean, maybe just because it's so fresh and not a lot of people have been out here, but it doesn't have the para tracks worn in. It's nice. Onward. Yeah. All right, I'm here at Outpost 24. So we've been taking the Spring Lake Loop around the outside. I read online that the Ted Gray Loop is the most challenging, and so I'm gonna take that to the right and come back around. If I'm lucky, I can get another lap out here, maybe check out the Blue Trail. So anyhow, I'm loving it out here. These trails are beautiful, beautifully maintained, and have such a clear guide system. The signage is excellent. There's even emergency position markers. So if you did get hurt out here, you could find the nearest one and help would know right where to find you. Here, beautiful.
Well, this is part of Spring Lake.
Yeah.
Ted Gray's over there. They got it blocked off.
Oh, that was the Ted Gray Loop back there?
So this here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I see this yellow marker here.
Okay, yeah, because there's a tree down in front of a bridge.
Oh.
The Ted Gray is this.
Yeah,
here.
see here, we're at number 24, so I thought it going to the right would be what you just ascended from, right?
No,
Or you came from here?
I came from here,
Uh-huh,
and I just went up like this.
okay,
This is all I did, and this is Spring Lake.
yeah,
Ted Gray, there's a bridge on Ted Gray that has a log that's in front of
Okay.
it. That's why they've got it blocked off. So they're marked.
I
off
wondered
now.
what was up with that,
yeah.
that barrier there,
Yeah, a few weeks ago we tried,
uh-huh.
and there was a log in front of a bridge.
Okay,
So good
yeah.
luck. I
Thank
gotta go
you.
up this hill.
All right. Yeah. Oh, I didn't want to bypass the hill. I'm over here at Outpost 21, and it looks like if I take this path behind me, it's this brown path labeled Byway Trail. I can take it back to 20 to 19 and then 22, and then I can hang a left back on the Spring Lake Trail and make it back over to my favorite outpost, number 24. So from 24, it went downhill. It was the biggest, fastest downhill here. New speed record on my skis, totally beats Kensington. And kind of windy. These trails have some really great downhills. They are directional, and I wish I could go down some of the others, you know, go down the up or whatever. And it's quiet. So I've seen two guys that are like speed skating around, but when I get up in them hills, I don't see them nowhere. Of course, I'm very interested in old Ted Gray. Now the old woman and the dog told me not to go sniffing around old Ted Gray. I heard tell old Ted Gray has the biggest hills in this whole park. Old Ted Gray used to have a wood fire whiskey still up in these hills till the man came down on him. Anyhow, I'm very curious about old Ted Gray. that old Ted Gray. Yeah, so here I am on old Ted Gray. Old Ted Gray is nothing to be trifled with. That first hill was a doozy. That first hill I ate shit on. It was a panic shit because I had way too much speed. So yesterday we had a big thaw and then it got cold again. You can hear how loud my skis are on the snow. The snow is crusty and heavy, and old Ted Gray has not been groomed. So this trail I'm technically not supposed to have gone on, and it's closed because there's a tree down over the bridge that I am currently on. So anyhow, you'd think it was like this big thing, right? But here it is, the down tree on old Ted Gray. Oh. That little thing, we could cut that with a handsaw. I could cut it with my Leatherman right now. Yep, that is the downed tree. And the literature said that old Ted Gray was the steepest and fastest hill here. And definitely, because it's not groomed and the aforementioned, absolutely the worst condition to go riding down old Ted Gray. So I took a chance, I made a mistake, I had to fall to the side just to make sure I didn't get a ton of speed, because it's all footprints, and when you get off the footprints into the untouched snow, it's heavy crust, so you get kind of locked in and can't really control the skis. So I satisfied my curiosity, but once is enough for old Ted Gray. This is how they let you. This is my exact silhouette right here as I ski down the trail. This is Oak Ridge Trail. Like I said, the one hill I have yet to do. Other than that, I've skied the whole map except the river loop. If I were to come back here, I'd love to come back here. I would park by the nature center. I parked over by the ski rental, and I had to take the lakeshore loop around to get back to this area. Anyhow, I'll throw you in my backpack so you can have backpack vision. Curious to see the playback. I'm sure it's all crooked, but working with what I got here. That was awesome. That was exciting. You know, it's like, yeah, making those turns, you know, it feels good. I'm feeling way more comfortable on the skis than I did back at River Rouge, although I think that was foundational for, you know, I don't think I'd have been ready to ski this without that experience first. That was really my first downhill on these. And now when I hit downhills like that, there are times where I'm making parallel turns, and that feels really good and is exciting and is do or die. But you know, again, at the same time, it's like it's mellow enough out here, and that you know, I've come to trust the trail. The curves, they're not going to put you around a corner that you can't make, potentially, and eventually it bottoms out, and you're going to lose all your speed anyway. So the more comfortable I get, and now the more I know the trail, then the faster I want to go, the more I want to try and hang on to my speed, carry my speed. Onward. well, that just about concludes my time here at Independence Oaks. I took my final and most intense downhill yet, and I'm feeling more control than ever. I had a great time out here. I don't know what time it is, but I've been out here for hours. Let's see. Right behind me is Crooked Lake. So this whole trail system goes around Crooked Lake. Most of the trails are to the left here, are back here, and just the lake loop or whatever it's called is gonna bring me back to the ski center and boat rental area where I started and parked. Yeah, I'd say this is my favorite spot so far.